Shalom Aleichem, everyone, and welcome to Hakseg's learning of the Pele Yoetz, day number 199. It's Tainis Esther. We're holding on the eve of Purim, the great Yom Tiv, salvation of Klal Yisrael. And today perhaps we'll see a message that will bring us into the Yom Tiv itself. It's called Dechia, when a person makes excuses for his behavior or the like, to absolve himself from responsibility. Dechia kvar milsa amura kilei toivehi. Dechia, pushing things off, excusing oneself, is something that we know already is not good. Kedichsiv, like it says in Mishlei, al toima l'reyecha leich v'shoiv umacha etin. Don't tell someone, go away and come back tomorrow. I'll give it to you tomorrow. Don't say such things when you don't mean it. Uksiv techelis mimushcha machla leiv. And it says further in Mishlei that drawn out hope, when you give somebody hope and you don't really mean it, so machla lev, it gives a sickness in their heart. They're hoping and waiting for you to come through for them, to give to them, to take care of them, and you don't do anything. It pains them. Uksiv, it says in Tehillim, v'doi v'emes bilvavoi, someone who speaks truth in their heart. Shetzarach sheyomer befiv es Hashem levavo. You have to say with your mouth that which is in your heart. So therefore you have to be honest. Don't make excuses. Don't say something that you don't mean. If you mean it, then if that's what's in here, then that's what you say. If you don't mean it, then don't say it. Amnon, however, just like we know, you're allowed to change the truth for the sake of peace. You don't want to ruin a relationship, a marriage, something of that matter. So you're allowed to be mishana. You can change the truth to a white lie to be able to keep peace amongst people. So too you can make excuses a little bit for the sake of peace as well. Specifically, says the Pele Yoetz, for the sake of shalom bayis, the harmony and peace in your home. The minds of women are very light. It's not a criticism, and it's not putting them down. It just means that their minds are able to switch from different things very easily. You could be speaking to a woman about your wife about something, and the next thing that she's talking about something else, and then she comes back to what she was talking about before, and then she's somewhere else, and you ask, are we talking about the same thing? No, I was talking about this, and I was talking about that. Now, that's not a criticism. That is, their minds are able to work light and swift because they can be the multitaskers of taking care of the house, taking care of the children, taking care of the parnasa, taking care of the husband, cooking the dinner, cleaning this, doing this, folding the clothes, all the different things that they need to have. So therefore, that's the way that it works. Now, says the Pele, she asks you for something, and you say, no, I'm not going to do that. She asks for something, she needs something, she wants something in the house. Basics. The Pele Yoetz is talking over here about basics. She's not asking for luxuries. She's not asking for a $100,000 automobile or an expensive vacation or a redo on the house that's going to cost hundreds of thousands of dollars. She's asking for the basics that she needs and she wants. But you are in a financial crunch right now that you can't really afford even some of the basics that she would like to have. She can't be on Amazon every single day ordering 5 different things. When you walk home every day and there's 5 boxes sitting in front of your house, or there's empty boxes in the trash can, you can't have that every day. So she wants it, but you can't fulfill her wishes. Even if you tell her, it pains me, I'm sorry, dear, I just can't afford these things. Ishara, there are unfortunately women that are not so good. Ishara, a bad wife, Rahman al-San, that Hashem should save us from such things. The lemikabeles, she will not accept the words of her husband who says, I wish that I could, but I can't. The of the merivo ketad, she's going to make battles and fights and wars with her husband. She's going to argue with him about this. Why can't I have 5 boxes of Amazon every day? Why can't I get this? Why can't I get that? I want this, I want that. And therefore says the Pele Yoetz, so you know what, in that case, in order not to aggravate one's wife, so then you can come up with these excuses and you could push things off day to day, from month to month, until better things will come along, until min hashemayim, from heaven, Yerachim olav, Hashem is going to have mercy on you, and He'll give you the extra money that you need to be able to satisfy the needs and the wants of your wife. So if that's going to help to keep the peace, just keep pushing off a little here, a little over here, even though that you're not going to give her, you're only going to give her if you actually have the money to do it. Says the Pele Yoetz, if it's going to save you from argument and fighting and contention and the like, it's okay. However, in a situation with your wife where you're not concerned about her, she's going to be angry, or there's going to be fighting between you. She's Baruch Hashem, she's understanding, she's accepting of the situation. You don't have all the money in the world, you can't afford everything. There has to be a budget every single month. We have to keep track of what we're spending on the credit card, how many things we're buying and purchasing, and so on and so forth. Then the truth should be what guides your way. Whatever your initial thought is and what you want it to be, tell her right away. Say, I wish that I could get you this Amazon credit card and you can get whatever I wish that I could. I just can't right now. In Mitzvah Hashem, one day I will, but right now I can't. And if your wife is Baruch Hashem, sensible, understanding woman, so then she'll be able to be makabel, to accept that, and everything will be good. And therefore, says the Pele Yoetz, go with the truth as much as you can. However, all of that is with things that is within your hands, within your abilities. For example, if your wife asks you for something, and you don't want to give it to her, or you want to do something because you simply can't afford to, so then you could end up speaking, you could push things off if you need to, if it's necessary. However, those things which are given over to a person, from the hands of heaven, for example, one's soulmate and their partner in life, their spouse, HaKadosh Baruch is the one that makes the shidduch between a man and a woman. If Shadchanim, the matchmaker, comes along and says, you should marry this one over here, or he says, your son, I have the perfect shidduch for your son over here, never push them off completely. Don't ever say, I have no desire for such a woman like this, she's not for me. We've seen many times, says the Pele Yoetz, sometimes a person can be really turned off by a certain woman. He wants nothing to do with her. He says, that's not for me. However, HaKadosh Baruch Hu is the one who's turning the wheels in Shemayim, and Hashem has decided this really is his bas zug, his partner in life. Suddenly his heart can change within inside of him. To love her, and take her as a wife. So he heard about her, he saw about her, he saw the picture, he saw it at a Kiddush, he saw by a Shabbos table, something, not for me. The next thing he knows, he's walking down the aisle and he's marrying her. How many times have we heard stories about the people, they went out several years ago, wasn't for them. And suddenly, for whatever reason it was, another shadchan came along and said, I have the perfect girl for you. No, I heard that name already 3 years ago when I was doing, try it again. You never know. They go out and they fall in love, and the next thing, the rest is history. They live happily ever after. Says the Pele Yoetz, never push these things off completely, because you don't know exactly what HaKadosh Baruch Hu's plan truly is. And he continues and he says, and this is the wonders of HaKadosh Baruch Hu is mezavik zivugim. He's the one who puts couples together. A person should not say, I will never take this woman as a wife. I'll never go live in that city. Similarly, I'll never do this, don't say that. You never know what the day is going to bring. And what HaKadosh Baruch Hu is going to decree upon a person, min hashemayim. Maybe that's where you belong to live. Maybe that's where your tafkid, your purpose is in this world. Look at Esther Malka. Esther Malka was in the palace. She became the queen. It was disgusting to her to be there. She couldn't stand it. Toivus, what is the language of Chazal over there? That the Toivus HaRishayim is Ra'itzel Tzadikim, that even when the Rishayim, the wicked people, do good for a tzaddik, it's disgusting to them. They're so turned off from it. She wanted nothing to do with this big Russia, Achashverosh and his palace and all the money and the gold and everything. She didn't want any of that. And yet we know that because that Esther Malka was in the kingdom, because that she was the queen, she was in the pivotal moment in history. As Mordechai told her, perhaps this is the reason why you are here in this world. Go and save the Jewish people. And if you don't, you're going to pass it up and you'll be lost forever. You and your name and your family gone. And Hashem will find somebody else to bring the Rebbe V'Hatzalah, to bring the salvation to Klal Yisrael. And therefore, says the Pele Yoetz, you never know. You never know what HaKadosh Baruch has in store, what his ultimate plan is. And therefore, never say never, because it could be exactly where you don't want to be is where you're supposed to be. If a shadchan comes along and says, I want you to marry this woman, she's perfect for you, push her off gently with words and say, if it's meant to be, then it will be. Right now, I'm not ready to date. I'm not ready for this one. I'm not looking to get married. If she wants, she can wait. If she wants, she can get married. I'm not going to hold her back from dating other people. Let her go and do what she has to do. And everything we're speaking about over here, says the Pele Yoetz, let the wise man take a lesson and apply it to different areas of his life. So we try our best to speak the emes and do what's truthful and what is right, not to come up with excuses and pushing things off, especially when it's min hashamayim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu is the one that's running the world. And he concludes, if making excuses and pushing things off is bad in milid alma, in worldly matters, alachas kama v'kama, the more so b'divrei Torah v'tikun ha'ir, when it comes to the words of Torah and tikkun ha'ir and helping the city to run in the proper way, if a person has to always be right, he can never admit that he is wrong. And even though he sees that other people are correct and he's wrong, nevertheless he wants to hold strong to his words and his logical reasons. And he comes up with all these silly excuses of why it is that he's right and everybody else is wrong. This man's evil is so bad. The Nafei Chorba is going to bring Chorba, he's going to bring destruction to the world. Eish, V'lahava, fire and flames, V'sina, the Eva, hatred and reputation. V'atoris, Issa v'Isser. He's going to permit things that are usher, that are prohibited and the like. V'lag harbe yegias basar. There's going to be a lot of pain and the like amongst people. L'chei adam yirei shemayim u'meidal emes. And therefore, a person should really have fear of Hashem, and they should admit to the truth. V'ala yoisher, and they should, what is just and what is right, they should admit, yes, you are right, and I am wrong. If a person will do this in the beginning, recognize and admit to the truth, then you will flourish like a tamar, like a date tree. You will just blossom and you will flourish and you will grow and you will steig in this world. And that's really the Yom Tov of Purim that is coming upon us. It's the simcha of Klal Yisrael. We're in very perilous times right now with the war that's going on in Iran. Our brethren in Eretz Yisrael, they are under fire. They are in the bomb shelters. We don't know what their Purim is going to look like. We don't know what the Megillah reading is going to sound like. We don't know what the Suda. We don't know about the shtick. We know nothing. It's not going to be pashut over there. And our mission and our goal is just to see what is the emes, what is the truth. Torah is the truth. Mitzvahs is the truth. Serving Hashem is the truth. Yirah Shamayim, Amunah, Bitachon is the truth. Don't make excuses anymore of why I don't do this and why I don't do that and why I'm not here and why I'm not there. How come I never reach this level and never reach that level? A person on Purim has a chance to be understanding and to reveal to himself the koiches that are inside of himself, to see a deeper and greater connection with HaKadosh Baruch Hu, And in that schus, we'll have great simcha in our lives. Should be an end to the war, to the struggles of Klal Yisrael, and it should be the ultimate simcha for the Jewish people, which is the Bias Goyal Tzedek, the coming of Mashiach Tzidkenu, Bimheira V'Yameinu. Amen. All the best. Afreilich in Purim, everyone. Now HaKadosh Baruch Hu continue to watch over us and protect our brothers, our sisters, our nation in Eretz Yisrael and Klal Yisrael all over the world.